Good afternoon, everyone. Wilson Egessa is my name, a student of MBA at Uganda Christian University. Today, I'm here to take you through ratios and to be specific, liquidity ratios. Liquidity ratios are very important ratios, and it's the reason as to why I'm going to take you through them. I chose Uganda clays because Uganda clays for over a period of time was appearing in the newspapers over its performance. So I'm going to analyze the performance of Uganda clays using the liquidity ratios. Just to share with you the screen here. To start with, liquidity means or refers to the ease with which an asset or security can be converted into ready cash without affecting its market price. Liquidity ratios are a very important class of financial metrics used to determine the debtor's ability to pay off current debt obligations without raising external capital. External capital may include issuance of bonds, acquiring of loans, overdrafts, among others, or floating of shares. That is all external capital. Liquidity ratio measures a company's ability to pay off the debt obligations and its margin of safety through the calculation of metrics, including the cash ratio, quick ratio, and current ratio. The current ratio, it measures the company's ability to pay off its current liabilities that are payable within a year. It looks at the total assets compared to the total liabilities. The recommendable ratio is 2 to 1, meaning that a company should have 2 times its current assets when compared to its current liabilities. However, this differs from company to company depending on the industry in which it operates. Some of the examples of the current ratios include cash and cash equivalents, marketable securities, account receivables, prepaid expenses, inventory, among others, while current liabilities may include short-term loans, account payable, accrued liabilities. Current ratio is given by the formula current assets over current liabilities. We are going to go and look at it practically in an Excel sheet, but I just wanted to first give you the hint before we go to the computations. And then we have the quick ratio, sometimes also referred to as the acid test ratio. And this one looks at the company's ability to pay off its current liabilities by using its quick assets, which can be converted to cash within 90 days or less. They include cash and cash equivalents, marketable securities, and account receivable. It's given by the formula current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expenses. The reason that's why we exclude inventory is because it's not easy to convert inventory into cash so easily. That's why we less it, and it's also not easy to recall the prepaid expenses that a company had already advanced. So that's why when we are looking at the quick ratio, we exclude those two and only take those that can easily be converted to cash. Then we have the cash ratio, which looks at the cash and cash equivalents over its current liabilities. The cash ratio takes the test of liquidity even further. This ratio only considers companies' most liquid assets, cash and marketable securities, bonds, treasury bill, fixed deposit, among others. They are assets that are most readily available to a company to pay short-term obligations. Creditors are more interested in this ratio because It shows the ease at which the company can be able to pay its current obligations. There's no there's no recommendable number, but anything that is above 0.5, 0.5 and above is okay, and it indicates that the company is financially healthy. So we shall go and look at the computation bit of this, and I'll take you through here. This is an extract from the financial statements of Uganda Clays Limited, which is a listed company. And I picked these extracts from the published financial statements. We have the current assets, which includes inventory, trade and other receivable, cash and cash equivalents, fixed deposits, staff advances, and current tax receivable. Then the current liabilities include staff retirement benefit scheme, trade and other receivables, and current tax payable. Looking at our formula that we already talked about in the other presentation, we realize that current ratio equals to current liabilities divided by current assets divided by current liabilities. In the year 2019, the current assets were 20 billions. These figures are in thousands, these figures are in thousands. So 20, it's not 20 million, but it is 20 billion. So these figures are in thousands all through. So we shall look at just a minute here as I, okay, yes, these figures are in thousands. That's what's just important to note. So it was 20 billions, while its current liabilities were 4.3 billions. So looking at the formula, we get the 20 billions and divide by the 4 billions. That gives us 4.8. When you round it off, it comes to 5. So it is 5.1, 5 to 1, which means that the business is financially healthy as it can pay off its current obligations 5 times. The current assets are 5 times its current liabilities. In 2018, the current assets are here 23.4 billion shillings, and the current liabilities are 4.5. So when you divide this by this, you get 5.2, which when you round off comes to 5 to 1. And it does still continue to show and mean that it is still financially healthy. In 2017, the current assets were 19.6 billions and the current liability was 3.5, which gives a ratio of 6 to 1. The quick ratio, where we are going to less the inventory, we shall get the current liability, the current assets, of 20 billions. Then when you less the inventory of 4.7, we also less the advanced staff allowances of 114 millions. So we get 15.9 billions divided by the current liabilities of 4.3, you get 3.7. There's no any recommendable. However, it's better for a company if it's quick assets that can be converted into cash within 90 days, at least more than one time the current liabilities. So we realize that for Uganda Clays Limited in the year 2009, it was 3.7, 3.3, and 2.8. When you start from this side, you see that it has kept on improving, and then this hence means that it is financially stable. Then the last one is the cash ratio. The cash ratio is preferred so much by the creditors, and it's used more especially to measure the company's ability to pay its current liabilities, more especially when the company is challenged with a number of issues like how we saw in COVID where companies require the cash. So if the company is unable to continue, like even when we saw in the America during the credit crunch, it is very important that the company's cash ratio is strong for it to continue to survive. And we look at the cash and cash equivalents over the current liabilities. Looking at our extract, the cash and cash equivalents are 3.1 against 4.3, which gives us 0.7 and zero point 0.5 and 0.5 respectively. This means that Uganda clays is financially stable and healthy since it can be able to settle its uh, current obligations at least by zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.7 using only its cash and cash equivalents. Thank you. I hope you've picked something from my expressions and the explanations. Hope to catch you later when we are tackling other ratios that can still be used to measure the financial performance of any company. Thank you. Goodbye.